should be the ideal state of our mind? Thinking of something or not thinking of something? Yes and yes. The point of life is not to think. Right? You're here right now. Where are you from?
I'm from Pune.
Pune. How are you going to get back to Pune?
Take a flight from Delhi.
Okay, what time is your flight from Delhi?
Morning 8.
How are you going to get to Delhi to catch that 8 a.m. flight?
By train
Which train?
from Haridwar to
Okay.
Delhi.
So you got to think, right? If you've got any interest in ever getting back to Pune, you've got to think. Now, it's easier now because you've already made your plans, but presumably there was a time a few hours ago or days ago or weeks ago, whenever you made your plan, that you had to say, okay, there's actually lots of flights from Delhi to Pune. You happen to have an 8 a.m. one. But at some point there must have been a thought that went, if we took an evening one, then we could get to Delhi in this way. If we take a morning one, we have to get to Delhi in that way. If you didn't plan that, you wouldn't be here. So we have to think. The mind is not our enemy. The mind is what helps us figure out, I've got to put food in my body a few times a day. I'd like it to be food that nourishes my body rather than harms my body. Some level of thinking and planning has to go into it. Unless you're lucky enough to, live here and you just sit down and they stick a plate of food in front of you, or you've got a mother who does that, but for most of us, you got to think. You go to sleep at night. If you've got to be somewhere in the morning, you have to think about what time you have to get up. You set an alarm, or if you've started a meditation practice, what time do you have to set an alarm? The goal of a spiritual life is not just to kind of be blown through life like a leaf, whoever. Maybe I'll get to Pune, maybe I won't get to Pune, maybe I'll just, live somewhere between here and Pune forever, maybe. That's, it's not the way for most of us. There are sadhus who live like that. There are religious renunciants who live like that. That which comes, I'll eat. But it's not the path that most people have chosen. The issue with the mind is to have it under my control. So, okay, now you've figured out how you're getting back to Pune. Now you can meditate. Now the mind no longer has to do that. You already know. Your alarm is set. Your tickets are in hand. You've had dinner. It's good. Now there's nothing else to think about right now. So the goal is not to think or not to think. The goal is to have control over when I'm thinking and not thinking. So I want to think about something. I want to understand something. I want to figure something out. Great, let's think about it. Now I want to meditate. Now I want to be in love. Now I want to just be at peace. Now I want to just watch Ganga. I don't need my brain doing that. I no longer have to figure out how I'm getting back to Pune. Yeah, and I know a couple months from now I've got to go to Mumbai, but I'll figure that out when I'm back in Pune. I don't need to do that on the banks of Ganga. And to have the ability to have it in your control. And that's ultimately the goal.